And then you don't need to know all this. Like I just said a minute ago about knowing what you're doing and putting in effort and stuff. But then there's also like putting in effort in one way, in like the awareness and equanimity way, that just like brings you way above. There's a bunch of muck here, and he's like, you don't have to go down there and like look through all of it. You can just go.
Yeah.
If,
Just
if you're putting in, it depends where you're putting in the effort.
uh, it's a weird thing to almost, if you were to map it out, like thinking of how, like if you're in this, say a person is in a depressive state and they're rolling in the muck of the depressive stuff, and they have the knowledge that they need to be equanimous with it, but they're pushing through it, and they don't know what becoming equanimous or more aware of it looks like or how to apply that yet, but they know they've done it a couple times, so they're somewhat aware of like what it would feel like and all this other stuff. It's just like such an interesting thing. Like if you're to map it out, it's like here's the bubble of like where you want, and here's the bubble of where you are, here's the bubble of where you know you should be. And like, just if you're to map that out, it's like this little line here of going from I'm pushing through it to uh I know I'm just going to try stop pushing through it, mixed with I'm going to learn to be equanimous, and you somehow tie those two together to stop pushing and get equanimity instead. Like, what are this? Connect these dots, and like, if you make like a funny map grid of like what happens within a person's mind, like it'd be like some weird three-dimensional sphere of space with all this geometry inside, being like, here's the mind at work.
Yeah,
So
it'd
cool.
be cool if they could actually develop technology to do that kind of thing. Like they have brain scans and they have all these other things, but to do like an equanimity scan,
Here's your when you're in the flow of creative endeavors, this is what your geometry looks like. But then you connect this line to here, thinking you need to get this project done. This one's like you feel guilty for not working on the project as much, and then your guilt also ties into you did a lot and you think you should be able to do that much all the time, but you're not doing that much. But this relativeness, you have this connection here between how much you think you should do and how much you are doing, and that thing is making this worse too. It's just like, here's that grid, and then here's you when you're in the flow, and it's like, see, you've cut that one where you think that you should, there's like a comparison between how well you're doing and how well you think you should be doing. You just cut that one and you connect it over here to be like, oh, I did that well once, so I know it's possible. So it gives you inspiration instead. And like you just weird grids. That'd be fun. Super future AI technology.
yeah,
Map out what my mental space is like, Mr. AI.